Hello, everybody. It was a little tricky. It got a little stuck on me. But I'm here and hello. And I'm sorry I had to sinus. I'm sorry I had to push back the show 3 hours, but it's been crazy. It's been crazy. Hello, everybody. And normally I do come in about 5 minutes after whenever the show comes on. Did I ever tell you why I do that? Normally when I say the show's going to be at 3:05, that's because I listen to Wait, Don't Tell Me on PBS and it stops at 3. So if I make the show start at 3:05, I'm listening to a show I love. It puts me in a good mood. And then boom, I can start up. But it's so good to see all of you. I had a ton of stuff to try to get done. And this has Oh, goodness gracious. This is a lot of work. Now, let me see if I can hold it up. I've got one block that's upside down. So I was trying I was going to take it out, turn it around, put it back in. And it was like, no, I don't think I have time. But if it hangs out a little bit, you'll know why. Now, let me see. Oh, yes, it's going to. Let me pin it in place because I started to take it out to turn it around and then went, oops, there is no time left. So let me pin it back in place. This, like I told you Thursday night, this is a challenging quilt. This is not a quilt to do at the last minute. This is, I would start, if this is a gift, do it 6 months at least before you need to give it because it's a challenge every day this week. This is all I've been doing. I haven't cleaned the house or anything. And I'm still 2 or 3 rows short. But I've got the bulk, I've got the center and the top done. And I'll have to take apart this one block again later. I'm sorry that I took it apart as far as I did because now it's going to hang funny. But okay, I've listened to 2.5 J.A. Jance's audiobooks. That's how long this has taken. Okay. Now let me see if I have it right. Yes, I think I do. So, and like I said, it's got 3 more rows for the bottom, but here it is. So I think it's pretty cool. I think I like it. I might do a couple little touches to it. I'll have to see. But so far, so good. So, in fact, let me go ahead and hang it up. Watch out, puppy doggy. Let me hang it up here so you can see it during the show. Okay. Hang it up real quickly. That way you can see it. All right. It's going to be a big quilt. By the time it's done, it's going to probably at least be 80 something by 80 something because I want to add a few rows to it, a few borders, pardon me. But I want to add a few borders to it. So here it is. But that's been a lot of work. That big star right there, that is the center because it is technically a, what do you call a medallion quilt? It's technically a medallion quilt with what looks like a kaleidoscope. You like the colors, Debbie? Oh, good. So it's coming along, and I'm really going to like it. I'm glad I changed the colors. And with the real light colors around the edges here and there, I'm wondering if I want to put I'm kind of thinking of doing something for the very center to bring some of that really light color right into the center. So I'll let you know. I'll see how that goes and let you know. But every day I have been working on this. All of the other, let me find them. Up, I know I brought them. All of the other blocks are done. They are just, they're done. They're just not put in it. So, and I thought I brought it down, but who knows what I did with it. But I think it's going to be a very striking quilt. Now I want to decide what am I going to do in the border. But I really, really, really like it. So thank you so much. Y'all are always so supportive. But I tell you what, this has worn out my seam ripper. Absolutely worn it out. Oh, you like how the big star is lighter in the center? Thank you. And I think if I take some of the real light color and do a little applique extra little piece in the center, it'll be good. So thank you. Well, hello, Marion, the videos. Charlene Lawson, Jody, Debbie is here, Betty Meisner, Kathy Klein, Michelle the Quilter, Laura, Alberta Powell. Hello, honey. Bonnie's here. Joso is here. Patty Kuchera. I remember that name. Hello. Lisa's here. Yay, Lisa. Lisa, did you notice the picture of the placeholder video? Yes. And okay, Mary is here. Marsha Hahn is here. And it's so good to see Patty Kuchera again. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. And I read Robin's little note. I am so sorry about her mother passing. That is so sad. So it's always hard when you lose someone you love like that. Barbara Smith is here. Cheryl Hogan, yay! Gosh, I love seeing Cheryl Hogan's name. Cheryl Hogan is one of those people that makes me smile. She works so hard on behalf of women's health, and she knows really great people. And I love her very much. So thank you, Miss Cheryl, for being here. So I have so much to show you. I've got to figure out where to start. But the good news is today I hope it works right. I was until a half an hour ago, I was still editing the video of the Myrtle Beach Quilt Party. And I got to tell you, I hate editing. It is so hard. But I'm trying. Oh, is Michelle? Hi, Michelle from Australia. Hello, sweetheart. In fact, I watched two of the quilts, the block of the month. The last two, this year and last year, were made by women, talented women from down under. And oh, I got the neatest tip on how to make circle appliques. But I forgot to bring down a piece of tinfoil or aluminum foil. I'll have to show you that next week. But it's so cool because if you're like me, you don't like making circles for applique. They're a lot of work. So I'll start off. I gave people a little heads up on Thursday. I met Miss Lisa again because I met her the first time last year. and she was in my class. And this year we were in the same class again. Yay, yay, yay. And she came in with a gift for me. And I thought just the case itself was magnificent. And that was plenty good for me. Look at this beautiful case. And I have seen this fabric, this pattern on fabric too. And it's so, so sweet. I love this new brand of designs they've been making. But when you open this case, ladies, I mean, there are at least, I think there are a good 40 fat quarters worth. Some of them are bigger than a fat quarter, but look at this. It's landscape fabric. And I have been frustrated lately because I've been running low. We do a lot of landscapes on here. But look at this. I couldn't believe it. I got all choked up. I jumped up and gave her a hug. I was like, oh my gosh, what a lovely, lovely gift. She shouldn't have been this generous. I mean, this piece is pretty good size. So, oh my gosh, I just love every bit of it. It is absolutely beautiful. Things like this can be used for trees, it can be used for fencing, barn siding. I mean, there's so many things. This can be used for sky, it can be used for water. It's great if you wanted, if like your shoreline had a lot of little trees beside it and you could stitch it this way as water so it would look like it's reflecting all the little trees. I mean, there's so much. Look at this one. There's just so much I can do, so much with. This is wonderful for a distant pond. Even sky fabric with lightning. I've never had that before. Look at these daisies. When I was growing up, daisies were my favorite flower. I love these tiny little pebbles, more brick, these wonderful birch trees. Look at that. Let use the circles to make temperature. Oh, yes, I've heard of that. And look at this. Look at this. Whoops. I've thought about those temperature quilts because they're kind of neat, but then you really have to stay with it. You can't forget a day or you'd have a space. And if for some of y'all who don't know, oh, look at all this. I'm almost done. Let me finish. Look at these beautiful purple flowers, wonderful waves, a sky that's fabulous. It's got like it either could be a very strong sunset or a little bit of a stormy sky coming up. Fall colors, great deep browns that would be great for a distance into the woods. Look at this wonderful sunset sky and more greener. And I was telling the group the other day, if the grass looked too tall this way, then look what happens when you put it this way. So remember, when you look at your fabric, look at it a whole new way. Look at it for not just what it is, but what it could be. So thank you, Miss Lisa. I dearly, dearly love this. That is phenomenal. And I really hope she doesn't want the box back because I love that box. But is that I was just overwhelmed. It was so wonderful. And so I came home and went through the box. Every little piece was marked because it's such a treasure. And that is fabulous. So thank you. We had the best time together. She's a great person to go to events with. She's smart. She's creative. She's a graphic artist too. So that's pretty cool. And when we both got tired, we went our separate ways. See you tomorrow. And it was great. So, because we're both kind of introverts. So that means I'm all friendly in class, but then I'm worn out and want to go be by myself. So, and the older I get, the more I'm that way. My kids used to wonder, Mom doesn't like to talk on the phone anymore. And now that they've gotten to, oh, when you get over 40, all that phone chat kind of changes. So now they're like, yeah, I don't want to talk on the phone either. But anyway, Mark brought this down. I'm going to get this ready, put it in an envelope to go to Miss Mary. This is the Merry Mayhem's New Year's Day mystery quilt, and I loved making it, and I love the pattern, but I've got so much on my plate. I just don't have the emotional energy on the physical time. So I'm going to pass it on to somebody who would like to make it. And that's my new thing for this year. In fact, let me find a bag to put it in. My new thing is, if I don't have time or the desire, to pass it along someone else, because someone else may really enjoy it. And I was thinking about that the other day, because I still have a moon glow quilt that I have owned for over 25 years that I have yet to make. So, got it in a bag, Miss Mary. I will get that out this week, along with a little birthday thing for Miss Debbie. So I will get these things done, I promise. All right. Well, before I show you too many things, when I go to show you the video, I'm going to show you something very, very special to me that I splurged on. When I went to Myrtle Beach Quilt Party, we had lots of vendors there, but I just couldn't get into buying anything this time. There were such gorgeous fabric and some really cool things, but I have this kind of limit, it's called a budget. But also, if I've just gotten something, just spent money on something, I then kind of have to wait a while before I feel up to it. Well, when I got home, I was looking up a quilt called Something Blue, I believe is the name of it. And oh, okay. You're talking about the temperature quilt. We'll talk about that. Yes, Jenny Beyer, you're right. Um, we'll talk about, remind me to talk about the temperature quilt, because some people might be saying, what? And I'll tell you what that is. But I ended up just buying a little book, a booklet about sashiko stitches, because I'm interested in trying some of that. I love trying everything. And to me, I want as many lives as I can get, because there's so many cool things out there to try. So I thought, well, Deb, don't feel like you have to buy something right now. Just wait and see. And when the right thing comes along, you'll be ready. So both Lisa and I were looking up this quilt pattern called Something Blue. And the designer was Jacqueline DeJong. And in the process of me looking that pattern up, guess what? I found this pattern that I truly lusted over 2 years ago. Every time I saw this pattern, I went, I have to have that. I have to have that. But at the time, I probably was paying off medical bills from my kidney cancer. So I was like, oh, and then, and what is that play? Oh, Pineapple Fabrics has a sister company that's up in New England, and Keepsake Quilts. Keepsake Quilts had that pattern. And then eventually they had it on closeout, clearance. And I was like, oh, I want it, but oh, I can't. And I hate to wonder how far they knock the price down before it's sold out. So I haven't seen that quilt since then. I think I'm going to get it really quick and show you. I don't have it with me, but I have a good photo of it. So let me find it. But it was one of those things that I thought I there are a few fabrics or quilts in your life you'll run across and you think, I have to have that. And it was one of them. Okay, let me see. Da, 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 da. I know it's here. Here it is. Are you ready to see it? This has just done my heart. And there's several reasons. Come on, picture. Come on, picture. Okay. Here it is. Hopefully, I won't knock any wire loose. But here is that quilt. Whoops. And I think the name of it's In Full Bloom. But this is the quilt that for a couple of years I have kicked myself for not buying because I thought, when will I ever see something like that again? So there it is. And it was designed by Jacqueline DeJong. And oh my gosh. Now, why do I love that quilt so much? Number one, the colors. The colors just grab you. And I'm not just because of LBGT, all of those wonderful consonants, but I am a supporter of that very much. But I love rainbows. But the other reason is the center of that quilt are feathers. They look like feathers to me. And it reminds me of my great great grandmother who was a Pamunkey Indian. And so I love that quilt. So when I was looking for the something blue, which I have a picture of, I'm pretty sure I have a picture of it. And I was like, that's an heirloom quilt. That is a saver. Well, it had a lot of like feathering, the tiny half square triangles, which I'm not a real big fan of. But I thought it's still, when we saw it, and Lisa and I saw it in person, oh my gosh, it was amazing. But anyway, so I went looking for that, and guess what I found? I found that quilt again. So I started pricing the kit because it is a batik fabric that was designed by Jacqueline, the designer herself. And I thought, I can't even match the exact shades. When you see a quilt that is that perfect, like Moon Glow, it's that perfect, buy a kit, spend the money and buy the kit. And I say that for several reasons. If it needs 30 different colors and shades of fabric, but some of them you only need a small piece of, especially nowadays online, most places, the smallest you can buy is a yard. So if you were to buy 31 yard pieces, you're going to spend a whole lot more than the kit. Also, the kit has make sure, but most of the kits, if it's that name, have the exact fabrics that were designed for that pattern. So I started looking for that pattern, not even knowing it was still out there. The pattern dates to 2021, and I figured, oh boy, I started finding prices for that kit that ranged from $277 on Etsy down to the lowest I found was $134.75. Well, you know me, as cheap as I am, I jumped on that $134.75. No shipping. I'm thrilled. If that quilt makes your heart go pitty pat, and you would like the company I bought it from, I wish I could remember it because let me hold on one second. I like giving people shout outs because good for them for offering at a price that we can afford. So the name of it is, hold on. Oh, I tried to let Crafty Pat know that we're not going to be on till 6, but something happened with her email. I probably have her old email. Okay. So the company, nope. Okay. Hold on, I don't have it saved. Normally I save it there, but I don't even think I put it. Hold on. Oh, goodness. It's a real sweet company. Let me see if I can find it. If not, I'll find it later and put it down below. But the company's name is Tourmaline and Time. And I'll copy and paste it. And, whoop, nope, it's not Tourmaline and Time. Scratch it. Scratch it. I'm sorry. That's for another thing I'll show you in just a moment. It is, oh, come on. What date? I think I bought it on Wednesday. Hold on. Sorry about this. But I know what it's like to really want to get something and oh, I'm not seeing it. Come on, Deb. It's here. I tell you what I'll do. Since I'm not finding it right now, I will put my email address on there and you can write me. Yep, I'm not seeing it. So when I get nervous like this, it's harder for me. But here is my email address, our time to quilt, and that's at twc.com. And if I can find it before the end of the show, I'll write it in a message. Bye-bye, Bonnie Hon. And if not, I will put it on this, attach it to this once I find it. But okay, so I found that quilt, fell in love, and got it. That's a splurge, I know, but all right. So when I went to do this class, oh, here's something more from Miss Mary's quilt. I don't want to lose any of this fabric. Miss Mary's going to need it. All right, got that. So when I was going to make this Alaska quilt for the class, I ordered some beautiful fabric from Hancock's of Paducah. They had, I think it was Hancock's, had the best price. And it's really a beautiful fabric line. And I was going to do the traditional blues and tans, blues and beiges. And I got a fat quarter bundle, and some of this fabric is just so gorgeous. Look at this. I mean, really quality fabric. Absolutely gorgeous. So, here's some of the rest of the bundle. So, when I got home, I was thinking, what am I going to do? I spent $139 on that. And then I decided to change my mind and I shopped my stash. Thank goodness I had the right colors, but those are my favorite colors. So it was, anytime I got on the computer this week, I would kind of peek around and say, I want something. The fabric looks really traditional. It looks 19th century. So I want to find a pattern that'll do it justice. Well, I looked around and around and around and could not just find that thing that spoke with me. One of the things I like to do, if I have fabric, I keep it together in a sealed bag. And if I know what I'm going to do with it, I put the pattern in with it because that way, if I have a chance to start a new project, I can grab that and I can then remember, aha, this is what I was going to do with it. Now, if I've changed my mind or I saw something better, I can always change my mind later. But look what I ended up finding online. This is coming out this year. It's from Timeless Treasures, and this is the Tourmaline and Time. And in case you're like, what is that name? Tourmaline and Time. And this is coming out in the Timeless Fabrics collection. This is called Ice Blue, but with the blues and tans, the blues and beiges, I think it's going to be beautiful. And it has the look of Alaska without quite as many pieces. So I like that it's kind of related in a way, but still different. So they don't have the pattern out free yet because I don't think the fabric's been released, but it's going to be. And so I went ahead to that Tourmaline in Time and bought the pattern. I love when you can download it and there it is. Now, one thing I did is I noticed some of the colors in these fabrics, and they had this really nice coloring. And so it's kind of a dark straw or a tea looking. So when I had was searching for Jenny Beyer fabrics a couple weeks ago, I found this. It's an RJR fabric, and I thought, oh, that is wonderful. This looks like Civil War shirting. And it is Pioneer Brides by Audrey Wright, Legacy Patterns, and it's an RJR fabric. So I added this to my blue group. Well, then when my Jenny Beyer fabric, I was looking through it, guess what? I found this, which brings a dark accent color in. And because Jenny Beyer always said, go one shade lighter, one shade darker than the colors that are in the quilt. Don't ever, this is what you should not do. And I have seen the actual proof of the pudding. But you see the little color dots that are on the selvage? Never buy just what's on the selvage. Because if you do, the quilt's going to fall kind of flat. Go a shade lighter, shade darker, something to give it a little zing. So I'm going to put this away because I've got a lot of other things to go in front of it, but I'm going to pack this way together with this amazing pattern, and it will serve as inspiration to hurry up and get some of those projects done. So there is that. Now, while I was talking about, whoops, let me get a couple things out of this bag. We had the cutest lady in the room. And oh, good. I did bring Miss Lisa's other present. We ended up getting a small um, cutting mat, rotary mat with our bag. And then here is this year's Myrtle Beach tote bag. And I think it is cute as it can be. I love how big it is. I love that it's waterproof. But isn't this cute? I love that. So Mardell does such a great job with finding us little goodies and things to take with us. Okay, so now let me get this out of the way. And I've finally caught up with my sleep and I'm starting to feel a little more energetic. This is what Miss Lisa brought me. She made this. And as you can tell, pink flamingos are the mascot for the Myrtle Beach Quilt Party, and I kind of like them too. But isn't this beautiful? Look at this. So Miss Lisa is very talented. She has done scrapbooking in her life, and she just, I told you that she does graphic art through work, but that is just absolutely beautiful. So thank you, Miss Lisa. Now I've got to find a place to hang it up here so that you can see it when you come in every week. So there was this cutie pie woman, because on Thursday nights at the quilt party, we have what's called a yard sale night. You can bring things to sell, give away, whatever you have that you no longer want. You decide whether you want to sell it or give it away. So she brought this pack of 10-inch squares. And this is Andover fabric, Bluebird it's called. It's Edita Sitar. Of course, no wonder I saw it and grabbed it. And she said, if anyone wants to buy this, then I won't have to go down to the sale. So, of course, I grabbed this. Blue is my signature color. And oh my gosh, they're absolutely beautiful. So, I got this for $10. I think a good deal. So, I got that, went back to my table. And then she said, oh, I only have one thing left. I'll knock the price down on this if anybody will take it. Well, it is an orange, a tangerine. It was the Kona Cotton Color of the Year in 2018. Tangerine is my least favorite color, but for $5, I thought I can find a use for that. So who knows? Who knows? But I said, I'll give her $5. So she was tickled as she can be. All right. Then Miss Lisa went to the dollar store, and since she was getting so lucky at finding flamingo things, she picked us up a couple phone holders so that when we're sitting there sewing, we can have something that holds our phone and has the nice flamingos on it. So I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Then at night, I brought a few. I went up a couple days earlier, so I brought a couple little things that I might feel like doing while I was there resting up before it started. And so I did another dot mandala. And this is that dot painting technique, which I got to be honest, I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm going to tell you some good advice though. Only do so much at a time, because I find after I've been doing it about an hour, if that, I get real tired of it and just want to get it done and don't care what the dots look like. So take your time and do it a little bit of at a time. And the info of the ice blue. Got you. This is designed by Laureen Smith. Okay, let me put it on here very carefully. Ice blue. Whoops, careful. Ice blue. Timeless treasure. Teresa, hi, sweetheart. Teresa Louise is here. Timeless Treasures has this pattern. If you go to her site, you will see the TTQ 339. And the site is Tourmaline and Time Quilts. And she's quite a lovely designer. And I mean, wow. And so I think with this pattern, it has enough different shades and squares that I can mix in the hot tea color and not just the beiges, but get a little bit with some browns. And, I don't pay $12 lightly, but it's well worth it, because trying to figure out how she did that would be a lot of work. Oh, and guess what? One thing I love, it's a paper piece quilt. I love, love, love that because you know what? Paper piece takes the work out of figuring out how to cut it and how to sew it. It's so, so easy. So, tourmaline and thyme, ice blue. Here is, I just found her email. I'm going to put her email on here. Please tell her you heard about it from me. ISMITHIS. No, it's LS. Pardon me. Let me back up because her name is Lauren Smith, I believe. Laureen Smith. So it's L Smith at Tourmaline, THYME quilts.com. And it's a PDF, so it means you put it in your cart, you pay for it with whatever card, or I think I did it through PayPal, and then you print it out right away. Now, I'm sure she will do a hard copy pattern, but isn't that gorgeous? I was so glad to find that because I was having a hard time finding just the right pattern. So, right here is the reason that I didn't really want to spend too much at Myrtle Beach because I had bought that blue and cream and then didn't use it. Oops. And then Marshall's Dry Goods had a sale, RJR Fabrics, and guess what? I found quite a few Jenny buyers because Jenny Buyer, her fabric was made by RJR Fabrics. So I was like, whoa. Oh, and I got a pin. I forgot that I got a nice Myrtle Beach Quilt Party pin. All right, so let me show you. I'll bring you back down here and show you. These fabrics were $7.99. Marshall's Dry Goods are so good for my budget. And don't worry, sometimes people are afraid if they buy discounted fabric, it'll be discounted quality. But these are RJR fabrics, so they're very good quality. So here, I'm just going to pull them back and let you see them. I tried just getting the colors that I run low of, that I use all the time and run low. And does this look like something good for landscape quilts? And here's a wonderful dark teal. Look at this. This I got just because it's so pretty. It's called La Playa. La Playa. And purples, I'm not good about keeping purples handy. And this is an extremely dark teal. Then a red, a golden yellow, a pink, which I'm not good at keeping pinks in either, and a lime green, a beautiful dark rich brown, and the quilt, the Alaska quilt, I had used up the last of this, saw it back in stock with Marshall's Dry Goods, and had to get it. So I got those for $7.99 a yard, and I'm very, very, very happy with them. So let's just say I'm not spending more money for fabric for a long time. My my fabric budget is depleted. So because if I want any more fabric, I've got to get a couple projects done first. So anyway, but I told you I just happen to have a lot of things to show you right now. And I am on a fabric diet because I kind of realized, can I finish everything I've got fabric for before the rest of my time here on Earth? And it's like, whoa. All of a sudden, having cancer kind of clears up some things for you. And one of them is I'm not guaranteed a certain number of years. And maybe I better start working on these projects because I was teasing, but I told Mark, and I know him very well. I said, something happens to me, I have a feeling there's a dumpster that's going to come up the driveway and a lot of stuff is going to be heaved into it. Well, an unfinished quilt, not many people want to take them on. But if you got a finished quilt, then a lot of people will want them. So it's kind of a goal of mine that let's get some of this stuff done. And I find too, the more fabric I buy, the more responsibility. It's like yet another project to do. And it's kind of nice to get some of that off my shoulders. So that's kind of how I go. And I know there have been ladies for a few years who keep track of how many yards of their stash they use up versus how much they bring in. Well, I don't want to hurt the fabric industry, but for me it was like, yeah, you're getting up there. And let's start getting some of these projects done. So that's what I'm working on. But I did tell Mark too, hun, something happens to me, please contact the quilt group and have them come over. Don't just throw it away. So I think I've talked about I think I've shown you everything the Myrtle Beach Quilt Party. So now I can show you the still photos and the videos I made there and talk to you while I'm showing you that. You like my dog? Yes, it was Gromit. Oops, I gotta move his bed. Hold on, I'm sorry, sweetie. Move over. Let me fix your bed. His bed tends to slide under the desk and then he can't lay down on it good. But let's go to the videos and then I can talk a little bit about it. If you have questions after we see it, ask me. And please feel free to ask me in all caps because that way it's easier for me to spot that someone's talking to me and has a question for me. All right. And this week, I'm starting to clean this room. This is ridiculous. Let me turn this camera a little bit. Okay. Let's get this ready. Right. Let me see. I've got to get Mark to turn my microphone just a wee bit so I can point the camera at the laptop. All righty. Now, I'm crossing my fingers this video works. Here we go. All right. Also, I have a speaker. I wonder if this speaker will work well because then some of the videos that have sound, that might be right nice. Let's see if it'll work. Let me turn
Power on.
Power on. Okay, we'll see if it works.
Your device is connected.
Well, thank you. All right. And now I'm going to go to, let me see, Myrtle Beach Quilt Party. Here we go. And down to the movie. I'm going to show it this way. All right. Whoops. Hold on. Oh, come on. Well, it's showing you in the screen that I made it. So let's just see. Oh, this is the end of it. Let me start it at the beginning. Okay. All right. Here we go. Cross your fingers. That's my room. This is looking out over the beach. There's the pier at night. And they're building a new water feature. I think it's a lazy river. There's the indoor pool. There's the pier. Now I know how to build a lazy river. Sorry, it's a little jerky. That's Patty Klein. This was Lisa and my teacher, her sister Cindy Page. She taught 3 different quilts over her 3 days of class. These are all the teachers for the class. They're doing their show and tell the first night. Isn't that precious? I love it. Yep. Let me see. It's a little frozen. Let's give it a second. Okay, let's see. Here's Cindy's Alaska quilt. Come on. Hmm. Whoops. Okay, let's try it again. Here we go. This is a teacher. I think her name is Dawn Walker. I don't know why it keeps freezing. This is a teacher, Debbie, and this is a teacher, Joanna. This is Judy Lilly. She's the one that taught me the most about landscape quilting. She is so talented. That is gorgeous. This is Susan Edmondson. She teaches nationally. She is very well known for her embellishments. This is Mardell Smith. She started this group 30 some years ago. Okay, here is my sewing area. These, just the rooms in the conference center are amazing. There's Miss Lisa right in front of me. There she is. Isn't that a sweet smile? And she gave us.
She gave the best information.
Yeah.
Lots of good information. I'll share it with you when I get home. After lunch.
Here's what a classroom looks like. We sew, we chat, we laugh. This woman had a lot of good success, and I can't wait to see these next year. I've got to practice my camera work. It's terrible. But I just wanted to, if you haven't been to a retreat or class, I kind of wanted to give you an idea of what it might be like. I put tape on my machine trying to really keep that quarter of an inch. It's amazing how fabric changes the look of a pattern. There was a woman in the corner crocheting. She must have come with her daughter. And here's Miss Lisa's. Yay. Here's Lisa and I at the banquet. It was a good crowd. Each class got up and showed what they had done that in the 3 days. This was the class where they did 3 different quilts in 3 days. Here I am. Here's Miss Lisa. Mhm. There is the Simply Blue or something blue. Isn't that extraordinary? I just think that is exceptional. Now, now they're having a drawing for prizes and they've got two runners and she has granddaughters that help hand out prizes. They had some nice prizes. And now it's the day to come home. So here's the outside of the hotel and conference center. Then there was a campground right on the beach. I had to check that out. And I think that's it. So, okay, let me minimize it. Myrtle Beach Quilt Party. Okay, I do apologize for my camera work. As you can tell, it's been a while since I have worked with the camera. Once the pandemic hit, I really stopped going places with it. So I need a lot more practice. And one of the things too is I hate to look through the camera to view it. I want to see it real. And that's the problem when you're not looking through because, oops. So, anyway, I hope I didn't make you too nauseous. I will work on my camera work, but I just wanted you to kind of have a feel for what is something like that? What is, if you haven't been to one, what is it like? How would I feel? Would I be comfortable there? And I think you would. I think there are plenty of times the classes in this were held from 9 till 1:30, 9 till 12, 1:30 to 4:30. And there was an activity you could participate in every evening. And but you had plenty of time to rest up and work on your own. Any questions you might, oh, thank you, Miss Mary. Any questions you have about any of it? But it was a lot of fun. That is my single favorite event of the year. So I'm going to work on getting into better shape so I can do that. Oh, Jody, I would love for you to come. So, in fact, anybody that is interested, look it up at MBQP.com, MyrtleBeachQuiltParty.com. So, but it's just the initials. And what it's hi Georgette, so good to see you. It started out with Mardell and a couple of her friends saying they lived in Charlotte, which is away from the ocean, and they said we want to get away and just do our own thing. And so she started planning those, and now here 30 some years later they're still going strong. So she runs it all by herself, her and her husband. What a dear. She said, I feel like it's my thing I do for people. And we love it dearly. I've been going 12, 13 years, something like that. Probably 13. And it is so much fun. And it's nice to get to the beach. We have people who travel from all over the country to come there. And a lot of them, they've moved or moved near family and they still fly back and come into town. In fact, one woman, she lives in upstate New York. they closed the airport. They said, "You're not traveling." So she had to miss it this year. I felt bad for her. So anyway, any questions you might have? Oh, that is neat. You had a sister named Georgia. Oh, that's great. Uh-oh, you didn't hear anything. Could you hear during the video, could you hear the noise, any of the sound, the laughing and the clapping? I have a feeling when I plugged in my speaker, it kind of circumvented. So anyway, well, I think I'm tired. And I even with that, I didn't quite finish the Alaska. Is there sound now? Now? Sound? Oh, thank you about it was completely quiet. I shouldn't have plugged in the speaker. I plugged in the speaker so you could hear the fun. Sorry. So sorry. Oh, you can hear me now though. Yes. Um, a temperature quilt is where you assign a color to a certain temperature range and you keep track of every single day's temperature, and you do a quilt. Let me see if I can find it one. And thermometer quilt. I don't know if I should be calling it a temperature quilt or a thermometer quilt. Pattern temperature. Okay, I've got one coming up. All right, here it is. And so it's kind of like a graph, but with fabric. See it right there? And each day's temperature has a color. And so you can see definitely their hot days and their cool days. But it takes a commitment to every day writing down the temperature and to keeping up. This quilt right here has from red, orange, yellow, blue, maybe a greenish and gray. And so your quilt then demonstrates by that. You can look and see what were your hot days, what were your cool days, all of that. Let me see if I can find one more. I've heard about them, but here we go. Here's a pretty picture. They picked really pretty colors, but there it is. So it's a simple quilt pattern, but it takes work tracking the temperatures. And depending on what colors you use for what degrees and how many days you have this and that, it can all look a little different. So, but it's one of those things, yeah, I heard about it and yeah, that might be fun one day, but I haven't gotten any closer than that. So, a temperature quilt. Yeah, that's what most of them. I don't know if there is a different name. Oh, you could go to the weather sites for the different temps. Also, certain colors you can put whether it was a sunny day, whether it was a rainy day, the temperature, all that. It could get as complex as you wanted. But anyway, you will you enjoy seeing all the quilts. Would you be able to share what you do? You could hear me narrating, but not the video sound. Okay. Okay, good. I'm glad I narrated. um, I'm trying to. Oops. Are you? Oh no. Um, look at Charlene. She's eager. Last time we drew a number. We're doing a UFO challenge this year. And so I've got people to pull aside 12 projects that they would like to get finished. UFO means unfinished project and or unfinished object. And so this 2 weeks ago, maybe, we pulled number 9 out. And we need a month to do it. We were a week late in pulling the number. I've been gone. So most likely next Sunday, we'll pull our next number. And I would keep working on them because, just turn in as you finish them, let me know. We'll keep track of it and we'll draw a prize at the end of the year for whoever finished more of their UFOs. So I haven't even pulled mine out. So I've got a lot of work to get done on it, but I'm going to keep working on it. And even once I pull next month's, I'll try to, kind of, if you sometimes can just say, I'm going to set aside a half an hour a day, you'd be surprised at how much you can get done. It's committing to it. It's saying, I'm going to do this, and it works. So, all right. So next week we'll probably draw a new number, and it's not too late for you to jump in and give it a shot. It's a fun way to kind of nudge ourselves to get those projects finished. So because a quilt can only keep you warm if it's finished. So that is my saying this year. So struggling to finish a quilt for your I know. I only 3 fabrics. Wow. Not scrappy enough. Oh, you're so good with the scrappy. It is really hard and sometimes you have to push yourself to get things done. But it's going to feel so good once you do. One of the things I haven't touched in a month and a half is my portrait quilt of my grandsons, and I need to finish that up. So, all right, everyone, take good care. I'm going to go grab a little bite to eat and put my feet up, but I will see you Thursday night where I have promised you to have good progress made on our home landscape, and that's Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern Time. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do next week. And I will bring my UFO and show you what I did get done on it. Because you know what? There's no shame in it. It's just excitement of trying. Take good care. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much, and do something special just for you this week. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. I'm going to finish this Alaska quilt if it kills me. So I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone. Take good care.